Hey everyone, today for another vlog and the microphone, the audio today is a bit different because I'm using finally a microphone. I am using the microphone that was given to me by my job because after the COVID thing, working at home has become more of a thing. So they give you they give me like a package for working at home, which included a microphone as well. It's not the greatest one, but I think it's better than just using my default laptop microphone, which is it's not even a microphone. Like I can't even see where it is. But yeah, I don't know if it's really an improvement, but it's just a bit better for me to have something consistent and that doesn't pick up everything. So I skipped last week's vlog because I was a bit I don't know, not really available. I guess but I definitely had time. It's just that it didn't cross my mind to do a vlog. So but I'm still at the current pace of once per week because I had done more than once per week before, so I think I'm okay. But yeah, so why have I? What have I been feeling lately? Life has not been really difficult lately, actually, but I felt a lot of pressure in my emotionally and in my belly. Uh, I just feel tense. I'm not sure why actually that is the case. I just feel tense when I'm at work, and even when I'm not at work, I feel tense. I have some ideas why that is the case. I mean, the fact that I'm not a fan of my job is probably a huge factor of that, right? And maybe the fact that I'm trying to find a quick solution, trying to get away from it as quickly as possible, is. And this sense of I'm not working hard enough on my side projects to be financially independent, that kind of stuff. So maybe putting a lot of pressure on myself to leave this current job. I don't know. This is my current hypothesis, but I think a general thing I'm seeing in me is a very disembodied experience. Right, so I'm just out of my body. I don't really. I'm just dissociated from it. Is another word to say it. I just tend to go to the internet and reach out for those things and not really be present with my body and the discomfort that arises from it. And I think that's definitely a huge contributing factor. It's hard to say whether it's just a reinforcing factor or a cause. I don't think it's a cause. Right? Usually if you dissociate, it's because there's discomfort that arises because of certain past experiences or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to say. I've just been very confused, and I think the way I would describe my life lately has been very ungrounded. It's just been I've been having so many project ideas that just I want to do something, and then a few minutes later, after I get into it, I just don't really feel like doing it anymore. Right? So, I've been feeling very ungrounded, and piece of thing, one piece of information slash an idea I would like to bring up is the idea of entertainment burnout. So just like you can be burnt out on work, I claim that you can actually be burnt out on entertainment. It might seem weird, right? Because entertainment is usually what we turn to uh, when we don't want to work and all that, when we're tired. But I think entertainment can certainly be a time to rest, right? But I think for me it has become sort of an escape, and I don't rest when I try to distract myself. So it's more like distraction burnout really, uh, than entertainment because I'm not exactly entertained when I watch when I'm on the internet. So the way I understand this entertainment slash distraction burnout is that you're simply not digesting the the emotions, if you will, that you're experiencing, and you're using an escape, and because of it, you're not actually resting because of it, because you're not addressing it, but you're not feeling it, and you're not, yeah. So that's probably why I've been so dissociated lately, is because I've been running away from discomfort. Now, what that discomfort is, I don't know what it is. I'm not sure what it is really. But there's definitely something, that I'm running away from. Mm. It's not making me tired actually. I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm that tired lately, but I'm just. I'm just feeling really tense in my belly. And that's really the only area I feel tension is. And this is a pretty good transition into what I've been reading lately. Not super consistently, because again I've been very scattered and ungrounded, but kind of been on the back of my head reading and thinking about it. I've been reading a book about chakras. Yeah, chakras. It's actually a really really interesting book. It's called Eastern Body and Western Mind, and it's very it's non how to say it's not bullshit. Like it's not a bullshit about book that's trying to convince you of like some magical stuff. It's the chakra system is very grounded on felt sensations and just your own experience, your own body and your own emotions. But sometimes the way it's packaged might be a bit woo woo new agey, whatever you call it. But in this one, I think it's very no, I think it's very well researched and very fair assessment of how the chakra system can be used to navigate our own body and and how to say imbalances in your life manifest in your own body. Like it's very interesting, the connection between the two, right? Your own life and your own body, and as well as the emotional component and the body components. The way those two like mirror one another. It's very interesting, right? So the reason why I mention this is because the belly is the third chakra. It's the chakra related to power, and so I guess the most like naive like such cliche interpretation would be that I feel powerless in my life, or like I don't know how to express my power if I feel so much tension in my belly. And honestly, I think this really overly simplistic explanation might have some truth, because I felt so powerless throughout my entire life. I often felt very little around people. Like it felt like I was just how to say, not as powerful as other people. Like I just had to like hide myself and stuff, and because I was not liked for who I was. And yeah, maybe there is some like truth to like, even if it's a very cliche interpretation. And I'm not saying this is what the book says, by the way. This is my understanding of the chakras. I haven't read the part about I haven't even completed the first chapter about the first chakra, right? So this is just me, my interpretation. But yeah, the belly is related to power usually, right? Like it's the, and so I guess it's my interpretation would be that this reflects my unhealthy relation with power and how I've never really expressed my own power. And that would be interesting, because I've never like deliberately tried to express power, to just feel powerful. But I think I've definitely seen moments in my life or phases in my life where I wanted to power. Because I think that was a big reason why I was really into video games, especially one called TF2, Team Fortress 2. I played it competitively. Competitive is a big word, because honestly, this game is very small at a competitive level. So like, it was actually like more chill than it sounded. Like it was the way more about. I have way more memories of just, even in my time playing competitive, way more memories about being with friends than actively trying to compete to be the best. I wasn't good at all. I was decent, like compared to the average player, but on the competitive level, I was like, But I think this phase of competitive TF2 was definitely, yeah, it felt good, because like I just liked being good at something, like, or thinking that I'm good at something, right? And yeah, that might very well related to this feeling of lack of power. And also noticing that the two chakras before it, so the first one is the root, which is linked to survival, and the second one is linked to sexual organ, so the base of the sexual organ, which is linked to pleasure. I think those two are also really imbalanced in me. Like I really don't feel safe on a day-to-day basis, and I really don't allow myself to feel pleasure. So, I mean, you have your own, whatever opinion you have of the chakra system. I think it's helpful personally, but whatever opinion you have, I think those assessments I just made about myself, they're pretty accurate. Like I don't feel safe I don't allow myself pleasure, and I don't feel powerful. And whatever the interpretation is, I think those are pretty fair assessments from my own life. And I think it's helpful to look at the chakra system just to study it, just to get an overview of yourself. And maybe even if you disagree with the system, I think the conclusions still are helpful to think about. Right? Like, what is your relationship with survival? What is your relationship with power? What is your relationship with pleasure? And the chakras, they are the heart, which is like love, the throat, which is communication, the place between your eyebrows, which is like your creativity, your vision, your imagination, and the crown, which is consciousness. I think I'm not really sure what that last one is. It always felt a bit weird to me the way it was explained the last one, but I do want to point out that I've experienced like all 7 of those spots. I've experienced a pretty weird felt sensation that was clearly located. It didn't show the spots like roots, base of sexual organ, belly a lot. So it's a lot of belly tension in my life. Heart, yeah, definitely points in my life where I felt like pain in my heart. Throat yeah, definitely, especially when I try to like feel into something difficult emotionally, I definitely feel it in my throat. Between my eyebrows, what they call the third eye, I feel it quite regularly when I meditate, although I don't really know what the third eye is, so I'm gonna be honest. And the crown, I've experienced it sometimes, like in a good way, and like tension for the other parts. I think the crown and the third eye are the only parts where I've only experienced something good. Whereas for the 5 other ones, it's been rather mostly pain, right? Like when I feel my heart or my throat, it's because it's difficult, not because I'm feeling good usually. So yeah, I think the chakra system is interesting. It's very very much interesting to look into because it's a much more tangible way to like understand yourself than trying to other means, in my opinion, because it's based on bodily sensations first and foremost, and you know those are not like in the domain of interpretation, right? If you just feel your body, then you can tell that you have tension, and then what the model tells you is that certain interpretations how you can interpret those sensations, but like the model might be wrong, right? But like at least the sensations, they're always correct, and I think it's always helpful to feel them because your body is always a your body always says something true, right? Like if your body feels tension, then that's how it is, no matter what your interpretation is. Or if your body is like hurting at some place, then it's probably worth listening to it. So yeah, I don't know. Felt a lot of tension in my belly, as I've said, and I just don't know what is happening. It's life would be really easy if you had like a HUD. It's an acronym for heads up display. It's a video game term mostly, but HUD can be used for anything computer related. Right? Life would be really easy if you had a HUD that told you like, oh, this is what is going on in your life, and this is what like you need to fix. Right? I feel like life would be so easy if you had that, but unfortunately you don't have that. Right? Like even just knowing what your problems are can be difficult. Like it can be a problem in itself. It's quite crazy, and especially because like your own problems can be blind to you, right? Like maybe you have like a really bad maybe you have really bad patterns around certain situations, such as with people or with I don't know, with a certain situation. Usually it's with people, right? But maybe you have bad relationship with work or resting. You don't allow yourself to rest and stuff like that. And those bad patterns, they don't always appear to you. Often they don't appear to you. That's why they are patterns, right? A big part of why patterns stay the way they are is because they're invisible to us, and it's really annoying, right? That we don't have a HUD, that there's no easy way for us to see what's going on with us. But as I'm making this vlog, I actually feel a lot better in my body. I'm not sure what's happening, but I think just feeling it and talking makes a huge difference. It's very impressive how simple it can be and how much I tend to forget it. But yeah, feeling is definitely the key. But I find that sometimes it's quite hard for me to feel it. So yeah, yeah. Today's vlog has been a bit all over the place. I talked about tension, belly, chakras, HUD. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, thank you for watching and thank you for listening. There's no video, I forget. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next week then. Goodbye.